And then, where are we now? Epilogue. Those who walk between worlds. As in Saga and Crow Mark II? Question mark? Well, we are back in the home. Back in the old house. A long, long time from now. There's a lot of little things there and here and everywhere. And a lot of different pictures. And she is indeed now old. There's a framed picture of that old event too. Yes.
Every year, it gets colder. Now let's see if we can't put some life into you.
Very old Saga. Very much older Saga now. Rekindle the fire. Ah, fire. I do want to investigate these things though. Here's the painting.
One of my older works. I must have painted that when I was in my late teens.
Yes.
Come to think of it, that was an actual place. I visited there to get in touch with my ancestry. It was a strange and powerful experience. One of my older... I won't mess with this one, but I think I'd like to revisit this particular scene in a painting. Perhaps something that goes further back, to the beginning of the journey. Dragons and dreams. One of the Sylphan worlds. Beautiful and peaceful, as always. So naturally, I grew bored again. One of the Sylphan worlds. Beautiful.
And a skull.
The dead walked in that world. They were exceedingly polite, but it still creeped me out no end. The dead walked in
This is the
world.
spear, not just the stick, spear.
One day, I'll get rid of that accursed thing. It's stained with the blood of dragons.
Yes.
But it's too dangerous to simply discard.
That's what I was thinking.
The silver spear of Gariman. Older than the twin worlds, forged in the fires of the first earth, created for one purpose, the destruction of magic. Some days I use it as a walking staff.
I guess it's fitting.
If we do end up taking one last journey, it'll probably be because of this blasted stick. One day, I'll get rid. I don't much like holding it anymore. It's thick with the blood of dragons.
Yes.
And heavy with broken dreams.
Yes.
I prefer my worlds three-dimensional, thank you very much.
That wasn't properly three-dimensional world.
I prefer my world, one of my favorite worlds. Vast and beautiful. It took me days to walk there, across treacherous song lines, avoiding discordants and bell strikers. I probably would never have gone, unless I'd picked up those rumors about a Midgardian woman who suddenly appeared in the City of Three Moons. I was hoping I'd find her there, but the woman had left years before. I stayed a while. It was a wonderful place, but I grew bored, as I always do.
Kind of funny.
One of my favorite worlds, vast and beautiful.
No more running.
It took me days
This
to
is
walk
as a
there,
deer, clearly.
across treacherous
There's
song
the-
lines, avoiding discordance
There's
and
Kion,
bell strikers.
the bloodless king as he now then apparently become, and I guess we might be there too.
Our bloodless king. He did not enjoy that throne, but he never complained. Not to me, at least. Even my endless teasing couldn't faze him. Oh, Kian, I miss you dearly. Not a day goes by when I don't think of you. He's been gone so long. I have a hard time recalling his voice and smile. I loved him with all my heart. I always will. Our bloodless king. Oh, my dearest Kian. I miss our long conversations. I even miss how every single one of my jokes passed over your head.
Oh, and there's Liko.
Now, there's a face I haven't seen in a long time. Liko stayed true to Kian until the end, though to be honest, I always thought they were gonna end up killing each other. Kian wouldn't have lived half as long without Liko by his side. That man must have saved Kian's life a dozen times. And he always claimed to regret it.
And he still always did it.
Perhaps it was for the best that Liko didn't live to see reunification. I'm not sure the new world would have been to his liking.
I wonder in what way.
Now, there's a face I'll leave that hanging where it is.
And then our very, very, very old little painting. Drawing.
Not bad for a 7-year-old with no idea of what was happening to her and why she was having such vivid dreams. Arcadia, Crow, the Rolling Man. The beginning of a long, long journey. That's her story, experienced with my own eyes. I still can't wrap my head round that one.
Because it wasn't indeed you, but you were, so to speak, able to experience it too.
Not bad for a I'll leave them up. After all, Papa isn't around to tell me to clean up and bring them to my room.
And there's Zoe's picture.
Brave Zoe. It couldn't have been easy getting caught up in events and wanting nothing more than a quiet, normal life.
But she was able to get it later on, I guess.
I believe her daughter is still alive in the continuity, along with her grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Brave Zoe. It could, from what I've heard, she lived a long and fulfilling life. And I know she passed the dream on, or all this wouldn't be.
Dream on. Ah, Huxley. Good old Huxley.
Huxley. He's the only creature in this little world of ours older than me. What's that, Huxley? You miss Papa? I miss him too, old buddy. I used to think he spoke to me. And I do believe I was right about that. There's a spirit inside him, old and shy. I think Mama put him there to watch over me when she was traveling. I'll have to make sure Hugsy is free to leave before my time comes. I'll release you when the time comes. And you can float on the winds until you find another stuffed toy in another little girl's room. What's that, Hugsy? Oh, dear old Hugsy. You're barely holding together.
Well, it is a very old toy.
Oh, dear old
Very
Hugsy.
old.
You're barely holding together.
Shard of song lines.
Now that my life's winding down, I feel like I'm just beginning to understand song lines. But at least here they are, charted and documented. Someone may benefit from my experiences.
Mayhaps.
Perhaps I'll take one final walk along a winding path and listen to the songs and stories. Perhaps when the spring between worlds thaws the frost on the turnstiles. There's one passing right through this room now. I think I've heard this song line before. It beckons me. But I have shortbread in the oven, and my guest will be here soon.
Guest. I wonder who.
I would so like to go, but not now. Not today.
Old picture of April as well.
It's hard sometimes to separate my own memories from what I've read and heard. April's journeys are vivid to me, but also dreamlike. I've spent so many years trying to make sense of our connection. I don't think I ever will. She's a part of me, and she always will be. But how and why? That's a mystery. It's hard sometimes to someday, at the very end, maybe we will meet face to face before the cycle begins anew.
Mayhap. Weather, grows weather.
His feathers are a lot grayer these days, poor thing. He hates growing old even more than I do. Did I pluck it? He never sheds, or if he does, he hides it well. My lucky feather from my best friend and faithful companion.
Yes.
I'll leave it be.
Talisman of the balance.
This was April's. I'm not sure how that's possible or how it ended up here, but
So it is.
I feel her presence in this. I mean, I always feel her presence. That's inevitable. But there's something about this talisman. The beginning and the end will connect. They always do. So much energy. Her chi is in this.
A guitar.
Thank the worlds I learned to play the guitar, or I might never have discovered the song lines.
It's interesting, very interesting.
When I play, I see ghosts of old songs in the air, guiding me to paths and new worlds. Papa was right about taking time to learn the guitar. Thank the worlds I learned. I'm too busy to call on the song lines tonight. But perhaps another day. When the complete history
I wonder what
of
you
the
were saying
war,
exactly.
of the balance and the reunification of worlds. Volumes 1 to 13. I've yet to make it all the way through, I'm afraid. I helped Galath with the details while he was writing it. I was there to witness it all.
You have an interesting walking stick too.
At least Galath was able to complete it before he traveled on to the stars. It's an impressive achievement, that history. I really should read it one day. The complete history of the war.
What did you
of the
exactly say
balance
about
and
this
the-
anyways?
I'm too busy to call on the song lines tonight. But perhaps another day, when my legs don't hurt.
Memento.
Worlds like that one are jarring. Everything just slightly off. It's like it was designed to keep me on edge, and I have such a hard time understanding post-physicals. Worlds like that one are jarring. Everything just slightly off. The twin worlds became one, and decades of strife and unrest followed. Many perished, but it had to be so. Magic and science could not be divided forever. I haven't been back in decades. New Earth reminds me too much of friends long gone. But maybe I'll pay one last visit to those who remain.
It's kind of a weird idea that they had to, like, it's just, in a sense, it just feels like, why were they first and even separated if they were anyways having to be becoming one at some point or another? I'm not sure.
Some call it Starcadia. But not me, for it's a silly name.
Starcadia.
the twin worlds became one, and decades of strife and unrest followed.
Comfy
It's
chair.
the comfy chair. I never could get rid of that old thing. I've traveled so many worlds, across so many ages, but I never found a chair quite as comfortable as this one.
Interesting.
If I sit down, I don't know if I'll be able to get up again today. Rose loved to tinker with her creations. Now, where did those dragonflies of hers go?
Rose, as in the Queenie. I think you are referring to Queenie.
I haven't thought of Rose for nearly half a century. Where did she end up after reunification? She always spoke about going post-physical and being with her Alvin again. I would love to hear that story one day. Knowing Rose, she got what she wanted. I'll make some tea to go with the shortbread later, after my guest has left.
We probably will be going to the other direction later on. A relic, Trikin. This was on the walls of the library back then.
She came to me when I was a child. She spoke to me, comforted me.
Yes, the white dragon.
I believe we'll meet again. And maybe then the mysteries will become clear to me.
Yes.
The white dragon, April, me. Life's not a circle. It's a spiral. And there's an end to it, eventually. The secret lives of Stickman. Paths, ways, and songlines. Time is a spiral. I'll sit down and read later, with a good cup of tea from a floating teacup. The people of Stark got a sneak peek of what reunification would be like with the collapse. For most, it was not a pleasant experience.
This is like the fountain in the Aeropolis as well, memorial for the collapse victims and all. And the old world at least, like above there, Europe, Africa and all that.
The people of Stark got a sneak peek of what reunification would be like with the collapse. For most, it was not a pleasant experience.
I think that's about it. We can look into a few more things though.
I had to visit Letok. I couldn't just let that mystery be. But the paths didn't lead me to them, or to that time, and I found nothing.
Aw.
It was a beautiful place, though, and I left the memorial there for the two of them.
Was that where your mother or father was from?
I had to visit Letok. I couldn't. Still so many worlds unvisited, so many universes left to traverse. But time's running out for me.
Map of the multiverse.
I've kept track of all my travels over the years. The multiverse is big, but I haven't done too badly. I don't think many have walked as far and as wide as me. People keep telling me I should put together an annotated map of the multiverse. But who has the time at my age? There are more important things. Still so many worlds unvisited. There. Oh, yes, I remember that place. And that strapping Coruscant farm boy. It was an enjoyable 2 weeks. Until his wife returned.
I hope you didn't do anything with him when he was already married, apparently.
Let's see. Oh, almost found myself in jail that time. Accused of whatever passed for witchcraft in that backwoods place. Like poetry could possibly open gateways. You need music for that.
So only music can open gateways.
Was this where I found that godling and nursed him back to health? I believe he ended up wandering down songlines himself. He promised he'd stop by someday, but gods. Can't trust him. What's this one again? Oh, that place gave me a headache. There was something about the odd angles that messed with my mind. That and the trans-dimensional cephalopods.
Trans-dimensional cephalopods, okay?
Wherever I put my finger, there'll be a memory. I could keep doing this for days.
And that's why I wanted to know what all there would be. There's a lot of memories for sure. Probably not anymore.
Oh, yes.
Yes,
I
typewriter
remember
though.
that play. Why did you never come back to me, Mama? Were you really not able to find your way? Or did something else happen? Did you forget about us?
I wonder what actually then happened there.
I refuse to believe she stayed away on purpose. And I never really believed she was dead. She might have been lost in time, like Papa always said. That would explain why she couldn't make it back. I've read her stories. They're beautiful. I've collected them all. Maybe I should try to get them published somewhere.
Maybe.
Why did you never come back to me? I could never write as well as she did. So I stopped trying.
Father's glasses.
Oh, Papa. Trying to keep me here with wards and old magic. I must have been such a handful for him, and a royal pain in the ass. He left his glasses when he packed his rucksack and walked out the front door. Where he was going, he didn't need spectacles. At least I got to say goodbye to him.
Well, that's good.
They wouldn't do me much good. Those wards are long gone.
Yes, and there's a photograph of the both of them.
I like to think Papa found Mama in the end. And that they lived out their lives together somewhere green and beautiful.
Hope so.
Papa never gave up hope, no matter how hard I tried to convince him otherwise. If anyone deserved a happy ending, it was him. I wish Mama had come back to me, just to say goodbye. For too many years, I was so angry with her for leaving.
Well, I believe she didn't know.
I miss you guys so much.
Yeah. Just gonna...
Perhaps I'll see you again someday soon.
Maybe.
I miss you guys so much.
It's nice to be able to see this place again. And this is... I don't know how soon is this after the story that we had told. Or maybe the guests... Yeah, she was talking about guests arriving. She's going to be telling a story. Maybe of April Ryan to the guests that are going to come here. Possibly so. Possibly so indeed. We do need to have the fireplace going though. First and foremost, of course. Rest your legs in the comfy chair. Oh, I guess we shall. I hear a knock in the window.
It's
Yay!
freezing out there.
Crow. Old crow.
You should not have let me go outside. Brr.
You're a big boy. What imbalance were you thinking?
Fresh air. And I was going a bit stir-crazy inside.
You know very well it's not safe. Paths shift with the wind between worlds, and the song lines are fragile things at the best of times. One discord, and you could end up lost forever. Just like...
You
Mama
worry
did.
too much, old woman.
Oh, old woman? You're no spring chicken yourself, bird.
Oh, bird me. I've survived worse. Anyway, time to dry my cold feathers by a roaring fire while I enjoy a saucer of sweet sherry.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot to tell you. You can't
What? I can't what?
be here.
You're not serious. You're serious.
I'm receiving a visitor, and she mustn't see you. There'll be too many
April.
questions. Questions I can't easily answer.
April is
And
coming to
who,
visit.
pray tell, is this very important visitor?
I will tell you afterwards.
April.
Go upstairs and warm yourself by the chimney. It won't be too long.
April is
After all
arriving.
these years, I get no respect. No, don't say anything. It's fine. I'm going upstairs. Just don't expect me to come back down again later. Or ever.
You
I'm
will.
making shortbread.
Call me when it's ready.
Oh, Crow. Ah, the balance.
It's such a beautiful design. And it keeps the house anchored in perfect balance between all worlds and all times.
Yes.
Will this continue to work when our family is all gone? Mama and Papa always said the house is a living thing. So maybe it'll live on without us.
Maybe there will be another reborn soul. And maybe they will find their way here. Maybe they will continue the work that you have begun with the multiverse exploration and everything.
I hope the house can stand forever as a bridge between worlds. The multiverse would be poorer without it.
Yes.
It's such a beautiful design. And it keeps the house anchored in perfect balance between all worlds and all times.
April is going to be arriving soon. Indeed. Hello, April. You needed to
Welcome.
escape.
April Ryan.
Well, that was it then. Oh, pictures of April first meeting the White of Kin. And everything. I wonder if the picture changed. Yes, they do. April painting. A long time ago. Well, we have now then played through this. I tried to make sure that I would be able to play this Margaria's dogs? Yes, dogs. I was like thinking, how do I call it exactly? And April there, the full story of the first game. The market keeper and meeting Crow for the very first time. Back in the long time ago. Certainly. And Brian Westhouse there in his house. Certainly. Definitely will be looking at all of this. So what do I think about Dreamfall Chapters? And that's a crippler, obviously. But I think there's a lot of good things. And this game definitely ties all the ends together. Which is great, of course. There's no questions left. And there's Robert Galax's home originally, when we found that in the longest journey. I wonder if this also recaps other things than just the first story. Probably yes. And the Blue of Kin, long time ago too. But yeah, definitely nicely ties up everything. Like Zoe's story, Kion's story, April, Saga's story. So this was definitely a needed game for that purpose itself. I'm like trying to think. I guess that's where the blue place, yeah. The very end of the first game. And then we are with Zoe in the second game. Definitely. So yeah, it's recapping the first and the second game then, and possibly then to the third game, the painting. So in the White Realm, meeting fate. Explains also why they were sisters for sure. And there's the thing in the second game. Whatever I should be calling it, I'm not sure. Kind of a shame that we didn't see any recap on what came of Enu in the end. And I wonder what exactly was the... How did it affect things that we let Brian stay in the place? Instead that if we wouldn't have let him stay in that place. I wonder. April meeting Kian. The conversation between the two of them. Yes. The White of Kin, or the newborn White of Kin. Not the first, but the second that we met, that is. And so we meeting her. And April dying by the Asadi soldiers in the second game, in the very, very end of the second game. Yes. And yeah, then Fate, of course. Fate disappearing. And Zoe there with her. And then the coma. Then Zoe's coma. I can still say that I like the first game best. It was a very good story in itself. In a sense, like Dreamfall, The Longest Journey even should be almost just a few more episodes of the Dreamfall chapters overall, because there were so many questions in the second game left unanswered. The thing with the Dreamfall chapters is that the questions are definitely answered. There's not really any questions that you are left with, which is the great thing. Like, all questions are answered. You are just finished in the same way. And there's a lot of things that are done really nicely in these Dreamfall chapters, even if the first game is still definitely my favorite. But I did like a lot of things. I did like a lot of things in this game, for sure. The things that I didn't like, the little things as I said before, mostly with Zoe, when she used words that I don't think she would be using some of those words if this was made actually earlier this game, like misogynistic or concentrating on race and sexuality more than I think that it would have necessarily. It might have still concentrated slightly more into those things, but I think it especially concentrated more onto those things because of the age when it was made, this third game. Because those things weren't that big of a concentration, they were more about the games themselves. So I have a little bit of a problem when I sense that real world politics or influences like this are brought into the game almost like forced. Some things were completely pretty natural, I would say, like Kian being gay and Liko being gay and so on, or the sexuality part especially I think was relatively like nicely or put together in a way that it didn't bother me at all. But as said, which part bothered me was when Zoe went and then referred to people the way she did and made assumptions in some cases, like, or said that we never actually heard Constantine Full, for example, speak for himself. We only heard what was talked of him, and we never actually saw him ourselves. We could just assume that, okay, that's the case and all that because of the fact that he's a bad person in this game and all that, but I don't know, I have a problem with something like, as I said, that I sense that there's a little bit of an ulterior motive or ulterior, that the game isn't completely just itself, that the game would have been a little bit different if it had been made in a different time in those things. Even if mostly it would be the same, but there's some things that I don't think would be quite like that. But overall, I enjoyed the game. especially visiting the old places that we used to be visiting, and a lot of things, like I said, were done very nicely, even if then, indeed, those certain things bothered me. But not wanting to talk too much of the real-life politics, but just thought that I should nonetheless mention what bothered me about this game. I'm sure it doesn't bother a lot of people, but I've just heard too much of those certain type of things and discussions and so on, and then it just irks my ear, so to speak, when I hear her talk in a certain way that just will bother me. But as said, otherwise, lovely game. I liked a lot of the environments. I love the fact that they closed the story up, even though I'm not sure if Crow is actually the same Crow or if it was the reborn Crow, because he looked smaller in the Asadir picture with Saga. So I have a feeling that it was a reborn Crow, but I'm not sure exactly how that's then possible. So that's a slight bit of a question, but otherwise it was totally fine and dandy and everything. But so yeah, I overall did enjoy the game. And there was a lot of little details specifically that were put into the game that I really enjoyed. Like, for example, the conversation between Kian and Saka at the end. That was very symmetrical to the way that April and Kian had talked previously. Adding the Silver Spear ceremony into the story and a lot of little things like that, which really is a really nice, good addition or attention to detail that you should have when you are making the game. So those are especially the things that I do think that they especially made well, that they did try to actually pay attention to those things. Yeah, so even if I don't actually agree with everything or all the decisions, and if I would refer very shortly still to the political aspect, on the other hand, it's just that I just love games and I want the game worlds to be themselves 100%. Of course, you can argue that then they did portray or did think that it was now then this way, but it's just a problem for me indeed when I think that they would have quite portrayed it necessarily this way if it was made earlier in the years than right now. But, well, can't really be helped. It wasn't able to be made earlier, and so it was made now, and it did probably change a little bit on how certain things were portrayed and discussed and so on and forward. Not that I exactly would anyways agree with a lot of the stuff with Zoe, considering she was even considering not wanting to take the certain type of soup or the things that Reza liked, the Reza, but actually was wanting to go and just take something else completely. So yeah, some things that I clearly not wouldn't be agreeing with Zoe here. But apologies if I went a little bit too far in explaining here, but I kind of felt that I had to at least explain a little bit of my perspective. Ooh, there's the picture of Saka and Kian in his outfit now. There's the spear, the song lines, old Saka, very small little Saka, the talisman of balance, windows closed Saka in a teenage years. Not sure what that picture is. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed me playing this through to you. And do tell me, by the way, in what ways the story would have exactly been changed, etc., if I had made some different choices. Like with Brian Westhouse, for example, and some other things. Or did it not really change much? Good game. Not as good as the first one though, not quite as good. Nicely tied up everything. I loved some of the areas, especially a lot. A lot. For sure. Oh, a beautiful game overall. Animations and not having the correct text sometimes and so on was a little bit silly, but otherwise, very beautiful game. And a lot of things that were done really nicely. So I did enjoy it regardless. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you for watching, and I shall see you in some other game, mayhaps, if you wish to enjoy some other games with me. So see you then. Bye bye.